The faint hum of the refrigerator fills the quiet. In stands at the counter, chopping vegetables, lost in thought. A pot bubbles softly on the stove, the warmth of the home surrounding her. In the living room, their 5-year-old daughter hums to herself, arranging her dolls for a tea party. The sound of the front door creaking open cuts through the calm YN, frowning as that. She wipes her hands on a kitchen towel, her heart thudding against her ribs. She wasn't expecting anyone. Her footsteps echo softly as she moves toward the living room. And there he stands. Jungkook, wearing his military uniform, a duffel bag slung over his shoulder, his hair slightly longer than when she last saw him. His dark eyes soften the moment they land on her. Jungkook. Softly, hey. Her breath catches. For a moment, the world tilts, and she wonders if she's imagining him. YN. Whispering, Jungkook. Yeonji. Barely audible, Daddy. The dolls fall from her small hands as she stares at him, frozen. Her big, round eyes blink in disbelief. Jungkook, smiling, I'm home, baby. Before YN can react, their daughter breaks free from her stillness and sprints toward him, Yeonji, sobbing, Daddy. Jungkook drops his bag, falling to his knees as she crashes into his chest. His arms wrap around her, holding her as tightly as he can. Jungkook, voice thick, I missed you so much, princess. So much. She clings to him, tears soaking the shoulder of his uniform. Yeonji. I thought you forgot about me, Jungkook, shaking his head, never. Not for a second. I thought about you every day. I counted every minute until I could come home to you. Her little hands curl into the fabric of his jacket, refusing to let go. Yeonji, are you staying? For real, Jungkook. For real, I'm not going anywhere. His voice trembles slightly, the weight of being away for so long hanging heavy between them. YN watches, tears pooling in her eyes as she presses a hand to her chest. There he is. Home. Safe. Jungkook. Lifting his gaze, you're crying. YN. Soft laugh, what did you expect? You just walked through the door after 2.5 years, Jungkook. He smiles faintly but doesn't let go of their daughter, as if he's afraid she might disappear if he does. Jungkook. I wanted to surprise you. I couldn't wait any longer. YN. Softly, I missed you. We both did. Yeonji, sniffling, Mommy cried a lot. I heard her at night. Jungkook's expression softens with pain as he looks at YN, guilt flashing through his features. Jungkook. I'm sorry. I should have been here. YN, shaking her head, you were doing what you had to. We understood. But, God, it was hard without you. He reaches out, pulling her close with one arm, keeping their daughter tight against his chest with the other. Jungkook. I'm here now. I'm not leaving again. Ever. Yeonji, serious promise. Jungkook. Softly, firmly, I promise. YN, smiling through tears, you better keep it. She's not letting you go. Jungkook. Teasing, not just her. Their daughter lifts her head, her face still wet with tears but glowing with happiness. Yeonji, Daddy, you have to see my drawings. And my new doll. And I can ride my bike now. Jungkook. Laughing softly, whoa, slow down, princess. I have all the time in the world to see everything. But first, his eyes find In's, warmth and longing swimming in their depths. Jungkook. Come here. She doesn't hesitate. She kneels beside them, wrapping her arms around both of them in a fierce embrace. For the first time in years, everything feels whole again. Jungkook. Murmuring, I love you. Both of you, more than anything. Yeonji. Softly, I love you too, Daddy. Don't go away again. YN, whispering, welcome home, Jungkook. The living room is now a whirlwind of colors and giggles. Their daughter kneels beside Jungkook, pulling out a stack of crayon drawings from a pink folder, her excitement bubbling over. Yeonji, look, Daddy. I drew this one when I missed you the most. Jungkook takes the paper carefully, as if it were the most precious thing he has ever held. The drawing is a stick figure version of their little family hymn, YN, and their daughter holding hands under a bright yellow sun. Jungkook. Softly, you made this for me. Yeonji. Nodding eagerly, Mommy put it on the fridge so I could see you every day. His throat tightens as he traces the lines with his fingers. Jungkook. It's perfect, just like you. Yeonji, giggling, there's more. She dives back into her folder, pulling out another paper, this one covered in scribbled hearts with the words, I love Daddy, scrawled across it. Yeonji, I wanted to give you this the day you came home. But you took too long. Jungkook chuckles softly, though his heart aches at the thought of all he missed. Jungkook. I know, baby. I'm sorry I made you wait. Yeonji, serious, don't do it again. Jungkook. Quietly, never. His eyes flicker to YN, who watches them with a tender smile from the kitchen doorway. Her gaze meets his warm, familiar, and full of all the love he craved for so long. When their daughter isn't looking, his eyes linger on YN a little longer, his silent way of saying, I missed you. Yeonji, holding up a doll, and this is Daisy. She sleeps with me every night, but you can share her tonight if you want. Jungkook. Laughing softly, Daisy, huh. I guess I'm pretty lucky to have both of you taking care of me. Yeonji, mommy says I'm the best helper. Right, mommy. YN, smiling, the very best. Jungkook leans back against the couch, still holding the drawings as their daughter curls into his side. She keeps talking about her friends, her favorite cartoons, the time she fell off her bike but didn't cry because mommy said daddy would be proud. Dining room, night. Dinner is warm and comforting. YN made all his favorite dishes. Jungkook sits at the head of the table, but Yeonji insists on sitting in his lap. Her tiny arms wrap around his neck while he eats carefully over her head. Yeonji, chewing, Daddy, did you eat boring food in the army? Jungkook. Laughing, very boring. Nothing like this. YN. Teasing, good thing I remembered how much you love kimchi stew. Jungkook, you remembered everything. His voice drops just a little, an undertone meant only for her. YN catches it, her smile softening as her heart flutters. Yeonji, swinging her legs, mommy says I eat like you. Do I? Jungkook. You do, you're just like me, but much cuter. Yeonji. I know. In laughs softly, shaking her head as Jungkook squeezes their daughter a little tighter. Jungkook. Playfully, you're really not gonna let me go, huh? Yeonji. Proudly, nope. His gaze slides back to YN when their daughter isn't paying attention. It lingers soft, heavy with longing. For a second, it's just the two of them in the world again. Bedroom, night. Later, Yeonji tugs on Jungkook's hand, leading him to her room. She climbs into bed and pats the empty space beside her. Yeonji, okay, daddy. Lay down, I'm gonna sing you a song. Jungkook obeys with a smile, lying next to her. She clears her throat, her little voice filling the room with the bedtime song she learned at preschool. Jungkook obeys with a smile, lying next to her. She clears her throat, her little voice filling the room with the bedtime song she learned at preschool. Yeonji, singing softly, twinkle, twinkle, little star. His chest aches as he listens, tears pricking the back of his eyes. The simple sound of her voice is everything he dreamed of during long, lonely nights away. When she finishes, she beams at him. Yeonji, daddy, did you like it? Jungkook. I loved it. You're the best singer ever. Yeonji, yawning, I know. Jungkook chuckles softly as she snuggles closer, her eyelids growing heavy. He presses a kiss to her forehead, whispering against her skin. Jungkook. Good night, princess. As her breathing evens out, Jungkook lifts his head to find YN leaning against the doorway, watching them with the gentlest smile. Jungkook. Softly, she's perfect. YN, whispering, she missed you so much. His voice grows lower, rougher this time, meant only for her. Jungkook. Not as much as I missed you. For a heartbeat, neither of them moves. But his eyes heavy with love and longing never leave hers. And in that look, she knows, Jungkook is finally home. Sunlight spills through the curtains, casting a golden hue across the room. YN stands by the dresser, brushing her hair when warm, familiar arms wrap around her waist from behind. Jungkook. Softly, finally, just us. His voice is a low murmur against her neck, sending a shiver down her spine. He presses closer, his chin resting on her shoulder as his fingers trace slow, lazy circles on her waist. YN, smiling, you're up early. Jungkook. Can you blame me? I've been waiting 2.5 years to hold you again. His tone is teasing, but there's a rough edge underneath, something deeper, more vulnerable. He turns her gently in his arms, letting his eyes drink her in. Jungkook. God, I missed you. YN, softly, I missed you too. His smile tilts, more playful now as he leans in, brushing his nose against hers. Jungkook, you have no idea how unfair this is. I'm finally home and I can't even touch my wife properly. In laughs under her breath, leaning into him as his fingers slide up to her jaw, tilting her face toward his. YN, you're terrible. Jungkook, smirking, and you love it. His lips hover just above hers, close enough to make her heart race. He lowers his voice, warm and thick with need. Jungkook, do you know how many nights I fell asleep wishing I could hold you like this? How many times I dreamed of waking up to you? Her breath catches as his words wrap around her like a warm blanket, filling every empty space he left behind. For a moment, it's as if the world outside doesn't exist, just them, tangled in the quiet ache of everything they've missed. YN. Jungkook, YN, you're supposed to be patient. His chuckle is low and husky, his thumb brushing across her lower lip. Jungkook, I've been patient enough. Don't you think I deserve a little reward? Before she can respond, his lips finally find hers, slow, deep, and full of longing. His hands tighten on her waist, pulling her closer as if he can't stand the thought of any space between them. And then, Yeonji, Daddy, Jungkook freezes mid-kiss, groaning softly against In's mouth before reluctantly pulling back. Jungkook, muttering, you've got to be kidding me. The bedroom door bursts open, and their daughter bounds in, still in her pajamas with Yeonji, cheerful, I want to play with Daddy. YN bites back a laugh at the sheer look of defeat on Jungkook's face as he straightens up, rubbing the back of his neck. Jungkook, sighing, well, there goes my morning plans. Yeonji, pouting, what plans? Jungkook, smiling softly, nothing important, baby. Come here. He scoops her up effortlessly, settling her in his arms while she snuggles into his chest, beaming with happiness. Yeonji, can we draw together? And play tea party? And you have to see my toys. Jungkook, laughing softly, all of that? You sure you're not gonna wear me out? Yeonji, proudly, nope. He laughs again, pressing a kiss to the top of her head as she giggles in response. Over her shoulder, he catches In's gaze, warm and amused, but his own is filled with something else. Jungkook, mouthing, later. YN shakes her head, biting back a smile as she watches him carry their daughter out of the room. His expression is pure devotion, but when his eyes linger on her a moment longer, there's a promise in them. Kitchen, late morning. The kitchen hums with warmth. YN stands by the stove, stirring a pot as the faint aroma of spices fills the air. Soft laughter drifts in from the living room where Jungkook plays with their daughter. Yeonji, Daddy, catch me. Jungkook's deep chuckle follows, loud and carefree, a sound that still tugs at In's heart no matter how many years pass. Jungkook, I'm coming, baby. You can't hide from me. YN shakes her head with a smile, stirring the pot while humming softly to herself. It's been a long time since their home felt this full, this complete. Slow, quiet footsteps echo against the floorboards. YN doesn't notice at first, too lost in her thoughts, until a familiar warmth presses against her back. Jungkook, softly, smells good. His voice, low and rough, sends a shiver up her spine. He wraps his arms around her waist, pulling her flush against his chest. YN, smiling, I'm cooking, Jungkook, I know. I missed this too. His lips brush against her shoulder, featherlight, almost teasing. His fingers spread across her stomach, warm and possessive as he sways them gently side to side. YN, you're supposed to be playing with your daughter. Jungkook, smirking, she's very busy building an empire with her stuffed animals. I figured you could use some company. YN, laughing softly, you're sneaky. Jungkook, and you love it. His lips find her neck this time, slower and more deliberate. He presses a lingering kiss to the sensitive spot just below her ear, his breath warm against her skin. Jungkook, whispering, 2.5 years, baby. Don't you think I deserve a little attention? His words make her knees feel weak, heat curling low in her stomach as his mouth trails along her shoulder. His grip tightens slightly, pulling her even closer. YN, teasing, you're distracting me. Jungkook, murmuring, good. He nips gently at her skin, his voice thick with playful frustration. Jungkook, do you know how many times I dreamed about this? About you, like this. YN, smiling, is that all you thought about? Jungkook, chuckling, among other things. His hands start to wander, slow and deliberate, making her breath hitch. Just when his lips return to her neck, their daughter's voice pierces the air. Yeonji, Daddy. Where did you go? Jungkook groans softly against her shoulder, resting his forehead there as if the universe itself is conspiring against him. Jungkook, muttering, of course. In bites her lip to stifle a laugh as she watches him straighten up reluctantly, his arms still loosely wrapped around her waist. Yeonji, Daddy. Jungkook, calling out, I'm in here, baby. A rapid patter of tiny feet echoes through the hallway before their daughter appears in the doorway, wide-eyed and suspicious. Yeonji, pouting, why did you leave me? Jungkook sighs, trying to muster a straight face. Jungkook, I was just checking on mommy. Yeonji, why? Is mommy okay? YN, laughing softly, I'm fine, sweetheart. Daddy's just being silly. Their daughter squints at him as if she doesn't quite believe it before charging forward and grabbing his hand. Yeonji, Come back. The teddy bears need you. Jungkook. Sighing dramatically, duty calls. He flashes YN a longing glance over his shoulder, half playful, half exasperated as their daughter tugs him back toward the living room. Jungkook, mouthing to YN later. In shakes her head, biting her lip to hide her grin as she watches them disappear. Even with his obvious frustration, there's warmth in his eyes, a softness that never fades when he looks at her. And she knows, eventually, he'll find his moment. But for now, the teddy bears win. Master bathroom afternoon. The sound of running water hums softly in the background. YN stands by the sink, wiping her hands when the bathroom door suddenly swings open. Before she can react, Jungkook steps in and pulls her against his chest, closing the door behind him with a quiet click. YN, laughing softly. Jungkook, what are you doing? Jungkook, huskily, stealing a moment. You owe me one. Without waiting for her reply, his lips crash against hers, hungry, urgent, like 2.5 years of longing finally boiling over. His hands cradle her face as he deepens the kiss, tilting her head back slightly. YN, breathlessly, you're unbelievable. Jungkook, smirking, you love it. He presses a series of kisses down her neck, his voice low and teasing. Jungkook, murmuring, do you know how hard it is to keep my hands off you when you're right there? And she won't let me breathe. YN giggles quietly, running her fingers through his hair as his lips trail along her collarbone. YN, she missed you. Jungkook, softly, I missed you more. His words stir something deep in her chest, and for a moment, everything else fades away. His hands grip her waist, pulling her flush against him as he captures her lips again, slower this time, savoring every second. Suddenly, Yeonji, Daddy, where are you? Both freeze instantly. Jungkook lets out a low groan of disbelief, resting his forehead against In's shoulder as if the universe is playing another cruel joke on him. Jungkook, whispering, why does she have such perfect timing? YN bites back a laugh, her hand sliding to cover his mouth as she tries to stifle her own amusement. Yeonji, Mommy, is Daddy with you? YN, calling out, trying not to giggle. No, baby. He might be in the guest room. Go check there. Jungkook pulls back, wide-eyed in mock betrayal. Jungkook, whispering, did you just throw me under the bus? YN, grinning, I bought us 2 minutes. You're welcome. Yeonji, okay. I'm going. The sound of her little feet pattering down the hall makes Jungkook slump back against the bathroom counter, shaking his head in defeat. Jungkook, muttering, I used to be a soldier. Feared, respected. Now I'm outsmarted by a 5-year-old. YN laughs quietly, stepping closer and brushing her fingers over his cheek. YN, to be fair, she's pretty clever. Jungkook, mock crying, I didn't sign up for this ambush. She kisses the corner of his mouth softly, smiling against his skin. YN, welcome home, hubby. Before Jungkook can retaliate with another kiss, the sound of their daughter's footsteps grows louder again. Yeonji, he's not in the guest room. The bathroom door creaks open slightly just as Jungkook manages to slip out into the master bedroom, trying to play it cool. Yeonji, confused, wait. She stands in the doorway, eyes narrowing as she spots her father very much inside their bedroom. Yeonji, accusingly, Mommy. You lied. Daddy's here. YN bursts into laughter, doubling over as Jungkook throws his hands up in mock surrender. Jungkook, dramatically busted. I can't win. Yeonji, huffing, Daddy. Why are you hiding? Jungkook kneels down, pulling her into his arms with a soft chuckle. Jungkook, I wasn't hiding, I was just giving Mommy a break. Yeonji, suspiciously, why do you need to give Mommy a break? YN, still laughing, because Daddy's a handful. Jungkook glares playfully at YN over their daughter's shoulder. Jungkook, oh, I'll remember that, we have to play. Yeonji, happily, good. Now come play with me again. As she tugs him toward the living room, Jungkook sighs in defeat, giving YN one last longing glance. Jungkook, mouthing, later. YN just grins, shaking her head as she watches them disappear, fully knowing that, later, may still be a long way off. Dining room, afternoon. The sun streams softly through the windows as the family gathers around the dining table. Plates are filled with home-cooked food, and the air is warm with laughter and the clinking of utensils. Jungkook sits at the head of the table, his daughter beside him, happily munching on her food. YN watches them with a soft smile, stealing glances at Jungkook as he feeds their daughter little bites of vegetables, disguised as superhero fuel. YN, warningly Jungkook. Yeonji, frowning, what does bedtime have to do with a baby? Jungkook, fighting a laugh, a lot, actually. The earlier you sleep, the more time mommy and daddy have to, work on it. YN, embarrassed Jungkook. Jungkook grins wider, thoroughly enjoying himself. Jungkook, teasing, it's true. Siblings aren't delivered by magic, you know. There's a lot of teamwork involved. YN shoots him a glare, trying to keep her composure while their daughter looks between them, utterly confused. Yeonji, curiously, teamwork. Like how we built my dollhouse. Jungkook, laughing softly, something like that. Just a bit more fun. YN, muttering, unbelievable. Yeonji, thinking hard, okay. I'll sleep. Yeonji, thinking hard, okay. I'll sleep early tonight, and tomorrow can I have a baby sister? Jungkook chuckles, biting his lip as YN gives him another glare that screams, stop talking. Jungkook, it doesn't exactly work that fast, sweetheart. It takes time. Yeonji, sighing, grown-ups make everything complicated. YN, muttering, you have no idea. Jungkook laughs under his breath, reaching over to brush his fingers gently against In's hand beneath the table. Jungkook, softly, I mean, we could try working on that tonight. YN, cutting him off, eat your food, Jungkook. His shoulders shake with suppressed laughter as he digs back into his plate, loving every second of her flustered reaction. Yeonji, suspiciously, why are you both smiling like that? Jungkook, winking at YN, because mommy and I are a great team. YN groans quietly while Jungkook sits back, utterly pleased with himself as their daughter happily resumes eating, already planning her future sibling while Jungkook sneaks longing glances at YN, his smile never fading. Yeonji, suddenly serious, daddy, do you want a baby too? Jungkook blinks, taken off guard by her earnest question. His teasing smile softens as his gaze drifts back to YN, warmth flooding his expression. Jungkook, gently, yeah, baby. I'd love for you to have a little brother or sister. In's heart stumbles in her chest. She can feel the weight of his words, the unspoken longing beneath the teasing, and it makes her pulse quicken. Yeonji, beaming, okay. I'll sleep so early you won't even see me awake. Jungkook laughs, the sound warm and rich as he leans down to press a kiss to her forehead. Jungkook, deal, but no sneaking out of bed, got it? Yeonji, nodding solemnly, got it. She pauses for a second, then tilts her head. Yeonji, wait, if I sleep early, do I get to pick if it's a brother or sister? Jungkook chuckles, while YN shakes her head in exasperation. Jungkook, not exactly how it works, baby girl. YN, if only it were that simple. Jungkook can't resist leaning toward YN slightly, his voice dipping low. Jungkook, softly teasing, we could still put in some extra effort tonight, just in case. YN, hissing. Jungkook. Yeonji, interrupting, are you two whispering secrets? I wanna know. Jungkook sits back, shaking with laughter as YN pinches the bridge of her nose. Jungkook, sorry, sweetheart. This one's a grown-up secret. Yeonji, pouting, you two are no fun. Jungkook glances at YN, his expression warm and playful. Jungkook, smiling, oh, trust me. Mommy and I have plenty of fun. YN kicks him under the table, but the flush on her cheeks betrays her. Jungkook just laughs, savoring every bit of her reaction. Daughter's bedroom, night, soft moonlight filters through the pastel curtains. Jungkook and YN sit on either side of their daughter, who's snuggled between them under a fluffy pink blanket. Jungkook's voice is soft and warm as he reads aloud from a storybook, his arm draped casually behind In's back. Jungkook, softly, and the princess found her way home, where she was safe and loved forever. Their daughter's eyes flutter, heavy with sleep. YN gently brushes her fingers through her daughter's hair, smiling softly as she watches her drift off. YN, whispering, she's out. Jungkook grins, carefully closing the book and placing it on the nightstand. He leans down to press a feather-light kiss to their daughter's forehead, lingering for a moment. Jungkook. Softly, sweet dreams, princess. YN watches him with warmth in her eyes before leaning in to kiss her daughter's cheek. As quietly as possible, they both slip out of the bed and tiptoe toward the door. Master bedroom, night. The door closes behind them with a quiet click. Before YN can react, Jungkook turns her around and gently presses her back against the wall. His hands settle on her waist, warm and firm as his body molds to hers. Jungkook. Low, teasing finally. A soft laugh escapes YN, breathless already from the anticipation in his voice. YN, smiling, you act like you've been waiting forever. Master bedroom, early morning. Soft sunlight filters through the curtains, casting a warm glow across the bed. Jungkook lies on his back, one arm draped around YN, who is nestled against his bare chest. His eyes are closed, peaceful, as YN shifts slightly, wrapped in one of his oversized shirts. The sound of tiny footsteps padding down the hallway breaks the quiet. Yeonji, mommy. Daddy. Before either of them can react, the bedroom door swings open. Their 5-year-old daughter shuffles in, clutching her bunny plush and climbing onto the bed without hesitation. Jungkook. Groggy, good morning, baby. She wiggles her way between them, snuggling against Jungkook's side and letting out a content sigh. Yeonji, brightly, morning, daddy. Morning, mommy. YN, still half asleep, gives her daughter a soft smile, brushing a strand of hair from her face. YN, sleepily, morning, sweetheart. Jungkook yawns, tightening his hold on both of them, his voice still thick with sleep. Jungkook. You're up early, missed me already. Yeonji. Nodding, I missed cuddling you. Jungkook chuckles softly, kissing the top of her head. Yeonji, curious daddy, why is mommy wearing your shirt? In's eyes widen, a blush creeping up her cheeks as Jungkook bursts into quiet laughter, his shoulders shaking. YN, stammering, well Jungkook, grinning because mommy loves my shirts, don't you? YN, glaring playfully, you're not helping. Their daughter tilts her head, processing the answer with serious curiosity. Her eyes shift to Jungkook, who of course is shirtless. Yeonji, innocently then, why aren't you wearing a shirt, daddy? Jungkook laughs louder, biting his lip to hold back more teasing while YN groans, burying her face against his chest. Jungkook. Teasingly, I got too warm, baby. Yeonji, frowning, but mommy's wearing it, doesn't she feel warm? YN smacks his chest lightly, sending him a warning glance. Jungkook just grins wider, clearly enjoying her flustered state. YN, clearing her throat, okay, enough questions. Let's talk about breakfast. Their daughter, however, isn't done. She props herself up on her elbows, glancing back and forth between them with sudden excitement. Yeonji, brightly, did you do the teamwork for my baby sister? YN chokes on a gasp, while Jungkook blinks in surprise before bursting into a loud, helpless laugh. YN whirls toward him, face burning. YN, muttering, I blame you for this. Jungkook, wiping tears of laughter from his eyes, pulls their daughter into a tight hug, still shaking with amusement. Jungkook, grinning, you really want a sibling, huh? Yeonji, nodding enthusiastically, yes. But you have to do teamwork, daddy. That's what you said. YN groans again, burying her face in the pillow while Jungkook can't stop laughing, holding both his girls close. Jungkook, teasingly, well, baby. Mommy and I are working really hard on it. YN, grumbling, you're unbelievable. Yeonji snuggles deeper, but her curious eyes catch something on In's neck, a faint mark peeking from beneath the collar. Yeonji, concerned, mommy, why do you have a red mark on your neck? Did you get hurt? YN freezes, her face going crimson as Jungkook quickly clears his throat, his mind racing for an excuse. Jungkook, smoothly, that. Well, baby, while we were praying to God yesterday for your baby sister, a mosquito bit mommy. Yeonji, gasping, a mosquito. Jungkook nods solemnly while YN covers her face in sheer embarrassment. Yeonji, worriedly, is it hurting, mommy? YN, softly, no, baby. It's okay. But her Yeonji's lower lip trembles, eyes welling up with tears. Yeonji, sniffling, if it hurts, I don't want a baby sister. I just want you, mommy. In's heart melts instantly, and she pulls her daughter into a warm hug, pressing soft kisses to her forehead. YN, gently, oh, baby, it doesn't hurt, I promise. And no matter what, you'll always be my special girl. Jungkook, softly, you're our everything, baby. Even if you get a sibling, you'll always have mommy and daddy, okay? Yeonji, sniffling, nodding, okay, but no more mosquito bites, daddy. Protect mommy. Jungkook chuckles, leaning over to kiss In's cheek softly, his voice warm with love. Jungkook, I promise, baby. I'll protect both of you forever. In's blush deepens, but her heart swells as she meets Jungkook's gaze filled with warmth, laughter, and a love that only grows stronger every day.